too. Oh, the Egyptian love song or a slow screw up against the wall. I'm traveling back through time. BC, heavy, stone weight scratching my bare brown shoulders. Building pyramids in the Sahara sun. Sun's lemonade, baby. Not even a cool drink of water before I die. I'm focused on my man and the magic in his eyes. I was there with you were there with me. Call it deja vu, my destiny. Yeah, 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 yeah. Man, child, here in my promised land. Understanding lands of melody. And this is my message to a black man. I want you to feel good. A man child here in my promised land. Understanding lands of melody. And this is my message to a black man. A labor of love. We are the people who are darker than blue. I dip down alive like Curtis into her A-flat fry. She wants to give me a mystifying love. Sweet thing, I take her with me everywhere I go. And you look at me like show you do until I run into you in Harlem or Tibet somewhere. And candidly I pull her out of my pocket and I say, here she is, here it is. I envelop you, you envelop me. Call it deja vu, my destiny. Yeah, 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 yeah. Man, child, here in my promised land. Understanding lands of melody. And this is my message to a black man. I want you to feel good. Man, child, here in my promised land. Understanding lands of melody. And this is my message to a black man. I'm blowing real good. Man, child, roll me through the rushes like Moses down a dark desert highway. Cold wind in my hair, stars look so close like you could just reach right up and taste one. Cherishes the thought, the word. Lately my soul just seems to be disturbed. My soul is screaming, screaming for the youth coming up. No wonder they stay in trouble. Pain is double from busted brothers. Cold desperation, uninspired every days. When you don't have anyone to sing praise songs in your ear. Your role models are pimps and hustlers. Mackie and cheap, right? Wrong. Who's gonna feed you? Tomorrow seems so lonely. I set the table like he was Seti. Long leg Nubian, Pharaoh's finest, a living legend. The salt of my earth, my wind and love's fire. You gotta have spirit to deal with ill winds in Chi-Town. Master told me to remind you of the day you find peace along the way. If you look way down in your heart and soul, don't hesitate, cause this world seems cold. Surely, 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 the brother's gonna tell you why. Every time he comes around, I feel like I'm on fire. Surface the perfect angel, and the good they die young. I drift semi-consciously back down memory lane. I am barely 18 as I sit on the edge of a dream. A rotary connection, many's lament. Countless fears in my love life spent. Ear winds blowing through me, then you came. I am amorous and changed, thus I'm rearranged. I pull her out of my pocket and I say, here she is, here it is, and here I'm is. Which brings me to the end of this road. Curse words in the fade of the ghetto. And I took it personal when they told me he was gone. Not Donnie, not that brother. He was a religious experience like Shiva. Special occasion, I was smoking cannabis sativa. All alone in my room one night, borderline ecstasy. The deepest revelation came over me. He was doing variations on Cloud Debussy. Damn, if he wasn't a black man, maybe then they would know the low. He was classically endowed and musically divine, truly underrated and a sign of the times. The Mayfield 5 Special is an endangered species. Never mind your fears, brighter days will soon be here. Take it from me, someday we'll all be free. Word. That kept... Good evening. It's the 5 Special. It's 17, like a dream, the sisters came to my emotional rescue. And believe me, there's a whole lot of youths committing suicide over grades and peer pressure. Over the board, or girl next door. I continue forward. That subtle sense.
Sitting at home right now, you can either be the best opportunity or the worst of times. I've been broke many times, and my wife and I can talk about being homeless, uh, no money, shit.
Stand by, family.
To live for 2 weeks, on a week on $2, and she went to eat pizza or tacos or something. But those are all growing experiences. So being an entrepreneur is risky. You fail a lot and all that. It's like a baby falling down. Eventually it started to walk. And then once the baby starts to walk, they want a bicycle, a car, and a fighter jet. That's evolution. That's transformation. So really, that's really what we stand for at Rich Dad. It's not about job security and working at a job you hate, but it's really being challenged, enjoying it, making mistakes. Another big thing is who our friends are. Our friends are advisors, my accountants, my attorney, my bankers, and all this. We have different friends. So my best friend is my accountant. Not my best friend, but closest advisor is my accountant, because it's always tax. Then comes as Tom Millwright, who tax me well. And then there's Garrett Sutton, who's my corporate counsel. I don't want to break the law, because the laws are different. Tax laws are different. Employees pay about 40% in tax, S's pay about 60% in tax, big business guys pay about 20% in tax, and I's pay 0. I don't want to break the law because I don't want to go to jail and tap dance and be somebody's boyfriend. I don't want to break the law. So a lot of the things I do are different than what an employee and a self-employed person can do. So you've got to have a great attorney. Also, I have a bookkeeper, a real bookkeeper. When I meet an S, like I said, small and smart. When I meet an S and say my husband does my books and my wife does my books, I'm out. Because the numbers are probably inaccurate. I've got to have accurate numbers. And with those accurate numbers, I can give them to my accountant and my attorney. See, with bad numbers, you get bad results. So it's all of those things that are different. So it's not easy, and the reason I'm happy you guys are listening right now is because through the magic of YouTube, social media, and all of that, we can bring to you the difference. And because it's up to you. It's what you put in your head, it's who your friends are, what you think. All this stuff makes a difference eventually. So for most people, they're going to make more money because the government is going to pay them more to stay at home. That's socialism. MMT, modern monetary theory. That's socialism. That's Bernie Sanders. That's fine. But I don't want that, for me personally. So the best thing about it is I don't have to depend upon Wall Street for my assets. I can make my own. I make my own assets, like a book. When I write a book, let's say I just wrote this book here. This book is sold to 50 publishers throughout the world. And they pay us, let's say, $10,000 for the rights to publish my book. And they pay for the publishing. They pay for the printing. They just send in a check. That's called cash flow. And with that check, I buy real estate, so I don't have to pay taxes. That's the game. So anyway, Who Stole My Pension? It just came out. It's now being auctioned off at different publishers throughout the world. And I don't know how much, if let's say they pay me $10,000 and I have 50 guys bid on it, I don't know how much money that is. But that's more per hour than they pay me to work. So I'm an S as a writer with Mona, who helps me a lot when we get better. But once this book transitions out, it becomes an asset. I don't need a mutual fund. I don't need dividends. You know, this is the asset. So one of the best things about being an entrepreneur is you create your own asset. And you can bypass the system. And I see this all the time. Gold, silver, Bitcoin, or crypto is outside the system. So those are the biggest differences for being an entrepreneur. And I'll say this because I say it all the time. This is the most powerful tool, the iPhone, or whatever you guys call it, the most powerful tool ever created for the entrepreneur. So you can use it to quit and twat and all this stuff, or you can use it to communicate to the world and make a lot of money. The difference is what's up here. If you see the world as an employee, this is not much value except for entertainment. But if you see this world as an entrepreneur, the world is the biggest opportunity you'll ever have. So anyway, that's the brave new world we're in. The question is, do you think like my poor dad, go to school, get a job, become a PhD, and run the Fed or run Congress, whatever you guys do? Or I think like rich dad and say, hey, I will do what I want to do. Screw you. My freedom is more important than a paycheck. So that's the world we sit in right now, and that's why Twitter number 3 was 3 best reasons for becoming an entrepreneur. Reason number 1, and there's only one, it's free. It is the most important thing. And right now, people are taking away our freedoms. That's what's frightening. So thank you very much for listening. We'll continue more now that I'm becoming an expert at Twittering. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Welcome everyone to another edition of Class is in Session. You just heard from Mr. Robert Kiyosaki and the 3 reasons why you should be an entrepreneur. You can find it on YouTube channels. However, we wanted to play that clip for you today because out of all the reasons that he could cite categorically, the one and only reason he said before he closed was freedom. Freedom is what it's all about. So I welcome you all once again. I'm Brother Eric Ture Muhammad, and we're here for part 3 of the 4 spiritual laws for growing abundance. Okay, and what I want to share with you, I know I hear you, brother. I'm on another platform. They're talking about how loose my shirt is. Well, we're fasting. This is Ramadan. Ramadan Mubarak for all those who celebrate the joy and the revelation of the revealed word. Okay, so we're dealing with part 3, and this part deals with goal setting and forgiveness. All right, first let's go and get the shout outs out the way because I see the streams are piling up. And by all means, please be so kind to continue to share this platform. Thank you very much, Brother Abdul Rahman. Assalamu alaikum, David Logan. Good to see you. Ahu. Hey, Sister Patricia, Brother Cleveland Barrett. Sean Jones, Brother Maurice D, Carlitos, Strong Island, New York. Boy, we had a boss show last night on The Gold is Gold on Calfani Radio. And let me tell you something. You may understand music, you may understand talk radio, but look, if you're not on Calfani Radio, your radio truly is not on. Glad to see you, brother. Thank you. Sister Centoya, Stacy, Brother Duncan X, Assalamu alaikum. I'll see you in Milwaukee soon, brother, very soon. Brother Roland, wa alaikum salam, Roland Muhammad there. Patricia Marie Henderson, William Hafiz, wa alaikum salam. Brother Rafus Jones Jr. That's the second, y'all. That's the second. And my mentor, Alicia Marshall. Glad to see you, Brother Gregory. Assalamu alaikum. How you doing? Sister Dorothy Coleman. Love you, Queen. Good to see you there. Tracine Adams. You know how we do. Brother Keith Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Michael Thornton out there on the west side, the true west side. And Brother Keith D. Glad to see you, family. Listen. We are dealing with 2 laws here. 2 additional laws. We're combining them. The first law was tithing, but now we're going to deal with goal setting and forgiveness. Very powerful tools by which we need to employ. And look, did you hear what Mr. Kiyosaki said? He said that this thing that I think my son is out there with the K1 Impulse, but this thing here, the cell phone, right? The entrepreneur's greatest tool. Now, why does he say that? Well, to get a a better understanding of what that means, I would implore you to go back to our broadcast last night on Kafani Radio, The Goal is Gold with Brother Rick Mathis. He really laid it out. Filmmaker extraordinaire. You know, he's the one that gave us Black Friday and gave us the truth about Black Wall Street. Beautiful documentary, beautiful cinematography. And he has Blackbuster. Blackbuster is the collage of different films produced by Black and African directors and producers and throughout the diaspora. And so there's a competition that's going on. They narrowed it down to finalists. May 10th is the screening of it. I believe it's called blackmovienight.net, but you'll learn more about it because we'll be back to the Kafani Radio platform by which we'll announce the winners. We'll draw the winners from that. I think there's more than 170 entries, you know, that they had to comb through, you know, to get down to that final 8, that final round. But it's going to be powerful. Anyway, go to that show that we did last night on the Kafani Radio Facebook page. You can also go to Kafani Radio YouTube channel, and you will see. And what he talked about, how the world is never going back to what it was, folks, and how everything has been made to move to a digital reality. Everything, the whole entire reset. And as a result, it has put us in a position to not only reset our lifestyle, but also reset and restart our dreams. So with that being said, let's move forward and look at these laws and understand that God would not put a dream in your heart if he hadn't already given you everything you need to fulfill it. I think I'll say that again. Thank you, Ms. Tanisha Glassby, for passing that on to me. God would not have put a dream in your heart if he hadn't already given you everything you need to fulfill it. So you receive a lot from us in this platform class and session, and you receive a lot from us as wealth builders. But truth be told, understand, there's nothing that we can give you that you don't already possess. It's just a matter of our responsibility to share what we have so that you can, in fact, create the self-awareness, germinate the seed within you to make things and make that reality what you need it to be. All right. So let's go forward. This law of goal setting. Goal setting involves the development of an action plan designed to motivate and guide a person or group toward an achievement. Goal setting is a major component of personal development. All right. So keys to doing that. You got to know your end game. A true goal set is not one that provides immediate gratification. A true goal set is not just relegated solely to short-term accomplishment. There has to be an end game, you know, and you may not know it right away. It will grow with you as your dream grows. Remember the 4 Ds that we talk about: dream, desire, determination, discipline. As those things grow and evolve in you, what happens is you grow into an understanding of your mission, because everyone has one. Everyone has a story. Everyone has a mission. Everyone has a divine purpose. Okay, so developing your end game, how does it come about? Well, goal setting combined with a focused faith yield spectacular results. All right. Goal setting requires focus, family. Focus. It requires you not just to come up with a bunch of ideas. It requires you to hone in on what it is that you are desirous of. And because it's brought to your mind, know that it's accomplishable. You have to know that right out the gate. You have to know it right out the gate, because God will never give you something that's beyond your power, your scope, or ability to achieve. All right. So he gives you a platform. On an average, thought travels at 24 billion miles per second, as taught to us in our lessons from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And why did I bring that up? Well, if the earth is 24,896 miles of circumference, right, on diameter, excuse me, no, circumference, and 7,926 miles in diameter, How many times does a thought travel around the world before you get it? And if you miss it, how quick or how rapidly does it strike someone else? See, because there's nothing new under the sun. That's the book, right? So if you don't act on that thought, that gift that God is giving you, that gift might be just getting you further along the road to your true mission. But if you don't embrace it, you belabor, you impede your own progress. So goal setting requires focus on and creating an agenda that speaks to your growth. How do you develop the goal set, and why faith combined with it? Why would that yield spectacular results? Because when you goal set, you educate yourself. You align yourself with all the tools that you need in order to stay on the path of accomplishing that goal. And the stronger you work towards it, the more you work towards it, and what you're able to see as small victories, those things that you accomplish to get you along that path, your faith in it grows. Now you're beyond wondering if it's possible. You'll see victory after victory after victory. You'll also see failure, which serves as an experience that leads you to remain on the goal and give you more victory. Failure is a part of this. The more you fail, the closer you are to your reality. The bigger you fail, the more spectacular your achievement will be. See, because trying requires the same amount of pressure. Small attempts, large attempts, they all require the same amount of pressure and energy, folks. There's no different in it. So this is why we go hard and dream big, because what happens is, if I dream about opening a grocery store and if I dream about providing agriculture for the world, those are two separate dreams. One is small, one is large. But guess what? It takes the same amount of energy, the same amount of pressure. Same amounts are involved in making those happen. Hey, brother Teddy Howard, TH Esquire. And I always say, it's an inside joke for us, but Teddy Howard, you crazy, man. You know, so it takes the same amount of pressure, family. Same amount of pressure. Okay. So goal setting only works when you actually do it. Oh yeah, you got to be about it. You have to get in it in order to achieve. Goal setting denotes action. It requires action. It requires a push. But in your goal setting, you also got to set the ambiance by which you can make it happen. Every morning, our programming gets better and better. It gets more refined. It gets more focused. It looks more professional as we continue to tweak what it is that we do day in and day out. It takes a constant effort to give you the best that we can provide each and every morning, Monday through Saturday, right here at 8 a.m. Okay, so I may spend hours in study. I may take some of those hours and set rigid times just to focus and produce the slides and produce the presentation that I believe is worthy of your presence, because I want you to understand that I think so much of what we're able to do as a people that I never want to misrepresent it. I never want to not put my best foot forward. I always want to stay on the grind to provide the best assistance that I could possibly give, because we're just reflections of each other. I want the best for me. I want the best for you. You got it, right? So we goal set. I create an ambiance around me that only allows me to do just what we're doing. I have an office space in my home. I make sure that the books I need are available. I make sure that the audios that I need to hear, the videos I need to craft, the notes I need to take, I make sure all that is around me and surrounds me as I prepare for that massive action. That's all preparation. That's all background. So I'm thinking about Haskell. That's all background. My mind has to be right. So I don't watch news, mass media. I don't. If the information is bad enough, somebody's going to tell me. I don't have to inundate my mind in the early morning with death, mayhem, corruption, crimes, murders. I don't have to inundate my mind with that, and now combined with weather. I don't have to inundate my mind with that. You see? Because if I do that to start my day, how well will my day progress? If I go back to listen to it at midday, if I go back for the evening before the dinner, if I go back at night and watch it again before I go to bed, how productive can I be when I fill my mind with so much gook that makes the psychic believe it's improbable? Look, your subconscious and your conscience, or your subconscious rather, you have to guard what it absorbs because it doesn't distinguish between what's real and what isn't. You consciously do that. But unconsciously, what you find yourself doing is making yourself a sponge for everything. You ever heard Big Mama and them say, don't make your mind a trash can for everybody's garbage? So your part of your goal setting is creating the ambiance by which you're able to produce those things that you're most desirous of. All right. And you have to create laser focus, family. You know, and this brother talked to me the other day. I was telling Brother Carlito about it. He talked to me and he was sort of upset because he considered me not being multidimensional. And I had to tell him, you're right. I'm not. Because I understand that my brain is not designed to function that way. I don't mean that we don't have multiple talents and multiple gifts. I mean, we can't do 10 things at the same time and be successful with all of them. It's not possible. It's not possible. That's like driving and reading a text message at the same time. It's not doable. You might get away with it or get lucky by not hitting somebody or getting hit yourself or getting a ticket, but it's not doable. So the brother was, hot with me because he thought I really wasn't understanding what he was saying. And I did understand what he was saying. And I'm saying to him, maybe that works for you, but I can tell you, I am one-dimensional. I don't look right. I don't look left. When I have a goal, and I know my goal is mine and not necessarily yours, I got to be about it because it only works when you actually do it. Okay? Only when you actually do it. And then there's no limits with your goal setting. You have to always remain open to the possibilities. Why do I say that? Because in your laser focus, in your goal set, as you grind towards it, you'll discover that certain elements of it you need to put down and others you need to uplift. Certain adjustments have to be made. Or if you have a timeline and you don't actually hit the mark, hey, Sister Tamika, hey, Brother Danny James, if you don't actually hit the mark, what it means is you set a new target date. You set a new target date. I remember when I first came to Wealth Builders in the Carabar's process, when I realized that there was money to be made, I said, man, I'm going to have a downline of 40,000 people. I'm going to have it by Let's Go Weekend 9. I got to Let's Go Weekend 9, folks. Well, just before I got to it, I remember talking to Mr. Best, our senior partner, not just our senior partner, the CEO and founder of Wealth Builders, a direct mentor for me and so many of us. But I was talking to him one day. I was blessed to talk to him on the phone. I said, yeah, Mr. Best, I said, my goal by Let's Go 9, I'm going to have 40,000 affiliates a part of my organization. He said, wow, that's outstanding. He said, how close are you? I said, I have 400. I'm almost there. I could see it, and then if it didn't happen, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to have 40,000 affiliates. It means that my organization just continues to grow. I continue to grind. And guess what? I have a new target date. And then I develop a new target date. But you don't quit. There's no limit. Remain open to possibilities, meaning be adaptable. Be adaptable. Goals need power and energy. They need power and energy. I have a belief system. Well, how do I feed my belief? I feed it with product knowledge. I got to know what I believe. I got to know what I believe in. I got to know who I believe in, and I got to know that I can do it. If it's going to be, it's up to me. That kind of notion has to be. You have to be fully consumed in it, and then you utilize the tools that allows you to see no limitations, no excuses. You develop your power. You design your playbooks for life. You understand that you're building a business and not a job. Mercy. All of those are presentations all and by themselves. Okay? You need power and energy. When you feed your belief system, right? What happens? Your attitude, your posture grows. And you learn that you develop the faith. And you get past believing, you grow into knowing because you accomplish it stage after stage after stage. Man, this thing gets deep. It gets deep because what happens is you're recognizing your own growth into your promise to yourself. When we ask and recommend to everyone to make a list, we talk about making a list of everybody that you want to share this opportunity with, everybody that you want to share your aspiration with. Why do you make the list? Why do you write it? I don't mean scroll for it. I don't mean make a mental note. Why do you write your list? Because when you write your list, you're making a personal commitment to yourself. You're making a contract or an agreement with yourself. You're making a promissory note to yourself to perform. Can you do that with your phone? Oh, this is a new age. It's electronic. And so what we do, I just text myself. Yeah, do you remember to look at it? How about when you set your reminders in your phone and you hear the noise and you just turn it off? Or you're doing something else in the day in the activity and you turn the volume down so you can concentrate on the activity, but you don't hear your reminder. What about that alarm clock that some of us used to have before we were free? So you write it and keep up with what you write and where you put it, and set up your environment where you will always go to that point, that mark, and know where it is. Then what happens? You are absolutely ready to perform. I have my list, 100 names a day, 100 names a day, right? Meaning I don't always get to 100 names in terms of calling per day or texting per day or emailing a day. I mean, I come with 100 new names every day and I write them. And then when those that respond in affirmative of wanting a presentation, they go here in my follow-up book. If those tools aren't with me at my workspace, then I'm out of business. You see? So your power, your energy, we write to make further the commitment within ourselves to internalize the gift, because remember, God would have never given it to you as a thought if it were not possible for you to accomplish. Just let that resonate a little bit. Okay? Forgiveness, folks. Forgiveness is the rooting up and letting go of all hurt, resentment, hatred, and guilt. Forgiveness is the rooting up and letting go of all hurt, all resentment, all hatred, and all guilt. And that is not easy. It's not. See, harboring a grudge completely blocks our ability to have peace of mind. And that's what the striving is. Peace of mind and contentment. That's what we want in our freedom. What gives you peace of mind and contentment? When you have freedom, justice, and equality, you develop the lifestyle. You develop the combination of luxury, money, good homes, friendship in all walks of life. It creates contentment and peace of mind. But what gets in the way? You ever on the road, you're driving, you're on a highway. I love highways. I love open space. I love traveling on them. And I'm never bothered about traffic, except if I'm in a hurry. Well, if I'm in a hurry, it's my fault from the beginning because I should have left earlier enough. But I'm never miffed about traffic. My brother Carlito, boy, he can't stand it. My wife, Falami, she can't stand traffic. The creeping. It just gives me time to reflect. And of course, most times it's easier for me to say than others because most times others are driving. So I guess that's one of the reasons why it doesn't bother me as much. But there are times on the road that creates traffic that impedes the progress you're desirous of making. What might do it? It might be construction on the road. It might be an accident. I remember one time I was blessed to travel with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. This is in the 70s. And we were going to an event in the South. Boy, I was so ticked off because there was a car driving on the highway on Interstate 20. And it was darting and weaving for no reason at all. I was hella hot. Boy, I'm woofing and cussing because I wasn't as refined as I am now. I was in my teens. One day, the minister was made to say, brother, you shouldn't get so bent out of shape over stuff like that. They might be rushing to a death or an accident that you can avoid. And that took me completely out of the notion of road rage. We can't see what's around the corner. We can't see what's up the road oft times. We can't see what's on the other side of that wall. I'm on the highway. This cat was driving his sports car. I remembered what the minister said. Maybe about 7 or so miles up, I came across all this fiberglass, all this debris. The police were out there. It was a little further on, maybe about 20 miles, and they had the flares set up and the ambulances, everybody's been made to pull over to the side to go through a shoulder to get to a lane where we can continue. And it was creeping. I wasn't totally thrown off. I was just hopeful that it wasn't somebody I knew because this is a road that I travel so often. And I was very afraid that it might be somebody we know, and prayerfully they're all right. It was clear to me with all that was being set up, there was a fatality. When we got up to the point, it was a jackknife tractor trailer. A jackknife tractor trailer is one that's turned a certain way where the forward cabin is facing one way and then the trailer is facing, it's like an L shape. It was in the middle of the highway. Underneath the trailer was the vehicle that was darting in and out. That if I were upset with, if I road raged, if I chased it, I might have been partnered with that vehicle under that tractor trailer. The way it was wedged, there's no way that you could convince me that this fellow was even alive. God is the best knower. But these are times when you have to understand, when you hold grudges, when you harbor feelings, it blocks your peace of mind. Forgiveness is not something we do for the sake of the other person. Forgiveness is something we do for ourselves. We have to get ourselves out of the way. And it's easier said than done. But I promise you, if you focus on what it means, what the end game is, you'll let it go. You will absolutely let it go. You know, many of you as wealth builders, I've traveled to a lot of your cities over the last year and a half, and you recall me speaking about baggage. Imagine you walking with, you only have 2 arms and hands, but you're carrying a suitcase in each one. Now, the suitcases are yours. They may be older because they've been with you so long. They may be a little worn around the edges. The threading might need to be reinforced, but they're your bags. You're comfortable with them. You know what's in them. You know how to handle them. They're yours. Inside these bags, it might be clothing, it might be books, it might be all the material in there is yours. However, you've been carried around for quite some time. We're not the same size that we used to be. I know I'm a little more portly than I was a few years ago. Portly means fat. I know this shirt says that I'm slimming down, but I'm telling you, I can be called Brother Dunlap because my stomach is Dunlapped over my belt. But look, carrying bags, right? Hey, Professor Gregory McKay. Another teacher of teachers, Professor Gregory McKay, my man. He taught me something I'm going to share with you. And you're carrying these bags. You don't even have clothes in there you can wear anymore. You don't even have anything in there modern enough, or you can leave with somebody as a hand-me-down, because out of the ridicule alone, you'd be embarrassed. People think you don't even care about them. You pull some of that stuff out your bag to pass on to someone else. But those bags are yours, and you're comfortable with it. You've been carrying it everywhere you went. You never sorted through it. You never spring cleaned. You never purged. You're just carrying these bags. Now you have another bag in front of you that's new. It's yours. It even has your name embossed on it. It has new gear in it, fresh material. Heck, if you can't wear it, your girl can wear it, your boy can wear it. Man, look, please. So that's yours too. But look, you can't carry it because you're holding on to old baggage. You have to learn to let go. If you don't let go, you're not letting God. So you have to learn how to let go in order to pick up that bag. There was a gentleman who was upset with me. I was on a 3-way call with him. Boy, he gave me all these war stories about what he did in his other opportunities and how much he amassed and all this kind of stuff. I was just trying to find out truthfully what his goals were in this opportunity. And each time I redirected back to that portion of the conversation, he went off somewhere else in Jupiter and whatnot. And I said to him, and I shared it with Mr. Best. He was from Boston, you know. And I said, hey, you're out of Boston? Were you born and raised there? He said, yes, sir. I said, do you say things like car? I want my car and stuff like that? And he started laughing. He said, that's what it sounds like to other people, but I can't hear my own accent. I said, oh, well, then you're familiar with Babe Ruth, the baseball legend. He said, oh, yeah, the Babe. You know, he started here in Boston before being made famous, making the Yankees famous. I said, yeah. Well, there's a quote that's attributed to him, and you reminded me of it. He said, really? What's that? What did I give you from the Babe? And I told him, the Babe said, you can't use yesterday's home run to win today's game. Boy, that fella was hot with me. And when I think back on it, rightfully so. He had a right to be hot with me. Hey, Brother Kansu Hotep Etum. He had a right to be upset with me because in my hindsight, I believe it was insulting, but really I was in observation. I wanted to go somewhere with him, you know. I wanted to share with him that, look, yesterday was fine, but you got to let go and live in now. You came to this opportunity because yesterday's opportunity was over. You got to live in now, right? So when forgiveness, it's not for everybody else. We do it for ourselves so we can get ourselves out of the way. It's emotional house cleaning. When done, it allows us to make room for the good we desire. Boy, look, there are people that many of us don't even want to approach because we know we offended them, and we know that we've done things that made them less than proud of us. We've done things where we might not fulfill an obligation, no matter how big or small. So, hey, man, why don't you go to Roger about that? Or go to Willie. That's cool. I'll talk to him later. We get sheepish, you know. We go on about our business, don't really want to talk about it because we know in our heart and our mind that we offended that person. But that person might be the distance between where you are now and where you like to be in the future. That one person could be that one. When you get yourself out the way, you forgive your actions. You forgive what you brought to the table. And you go to that person. And actually, it's part of our training. We say, look, man, look, you know, I know there's some things in the past that didn't go as well for us, but I know that I'd be remiss if I don't bring this opportunity to you. I couldn't think of going forward without you at least knowing from my heart what I believe this can do for you. And you share it. Hey, Sister Shanetta. And you share it. You know, those are vital things to overcome. When you're able to emotionally house clean, you might have had relationships that didn't go as well for you, and you'll use every relationship to justify why you can't do something right now. You got to let go, because if you don't let go, you're not willing to let God. He gave you the idea. He gave you the support. He's given you the thought to move forward, and you declare that you would do it. Now allow him to continue to work on you and do the rest. Remember, we open up this portion, part 1. We open it up with a quote from Malachi, the 3rd chapter, the 10th verse, about tithing. God says, give to yourself, put it in your storehouse. Why? Because if you do what I tell you and do that, then the windows will open for you, and I will give you abundance. I will give you all the things that you never knew to imagine. And that's the position we put ourselves in when we house clean, when we make room for what the good, the God has for us. And then, folks, judging other people. Man, learn to live without laying blame. Hey, Brother Jaron. Learn to live without laying blame. You know, it's like, man, I'd be so much further in this opportunity now if it wasn't for that last cat when I got with him and got all that sour juice and he had me selling it. Man, you better stop blaming other people and do for you what you could have always done for yourself. You got to feed your mind where you don't even have room. You know, when you blame other people, when you point the finger, when you judge folks' actions by what you don't accomplish, you know what you're really exuding? You're talking fear. But when your dream is big enough, it'll eclipse that. When you embrace your gift, it'll eclipse that. When you embrace the goal and you set the goal and the bar high enough, man, like I said yesterday, it's like a string around your little finger. You won't even know it's there unless you look down and say, oh, wow, that was blame. Let me just take this off, throw it away. Look, judging other people. Learn to live without laying blame on others. Learn how to, I'm not saying forget, but I am saying forgive. See, because you cannot judge other people's actions by what you want for them or what you want for yourself. Their role is not your role. Their job is not your job. Their mission will never be yours. Because all of us, this is the greatness of God. He created a skill set and a gift in each and every living creature and has done it for that creature. So my gift for gab may not be yours. Your ability to draw people may not be mine. But I should never try to put whatever my gift is on you. And when you don't perform it to my expectation, I should not be so vexed where I cannot function and where I cannot release the grudge, because it harbors, it blocks, it destroys peace of mind. It makes it impossible to ever achieve. And we have to learn how to let go. We have to learn. That's right, Sister Tracy. We have to learn how to clean our closets out. We have to learn. So there's a lot more that we could say on this. I'm not going to go there with it today, but I hope you find some use for what we shared and extract some of those jewels, okay? This is Wednesday, folks, and we're coming up on our power call, 9:45. Stay plugged, stay plugged. Get plugged, stay plugged. We had the power call. We had the Browns. This is hump day, boy. This is Wednesday. Be inspired. 10:45 a.m. Eastern. We're at www.goldrocks.info. And of course, right after that, at 12 noon, we have the Wealth Building Live presentation. These are the presentations where you drive all of your guests to, all of your prospects to. You drive them to get the full nuts and bolts of the opportunity. Wealth building presentation 7 days a week. It's 12 noon, Monday through Saturday. And it's 9 p.m., 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday. And it's all on www.goldrocks.info. This is hump day, meaning we hump and we grind. There's a whole lot to get through. Okay. Take a picture of this, screenshot it to yourself. This is our card. This is how you get the support you need. When we say you're in business for yourself, we mean it, but we also mean you're not by yourself. There's a plethora of training. There's many sponsors, upline sponsors, guides that are available to all of us at all times of the day. You allow the system to work for you, because the system can do what you cannot. The system can be accurate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're flawed because we're human beings. And I might forget to say something in a presentation. I might forget to remove a slide. I might forget to eliminate the sound from a slide. But the system will work for you 24 hours, 7 days a week. A book will work for you the same way. CDs will work for you the same way. Allow the system to build your business. Allow the system to build your reality. Okay. And then I told you this is hump day on Kafani Radio tonight and today. First of all, we got the Power Hour midday with Tay and Toya. I'm talking about Brother Dante, Mr. Gold Collector Taylor, and Miss Santoya Stacy. They're live with us 3 p.m. Power by Kafani Radio on the Kafani Radio Facebook page. You can also find it on their personal pages. This evening at 9 p.m., Dr. Abdul Ali Muhammad and Brother Mustafa Muhammad hosts the 19th Element on Kafani Radio. You don't want to miss it. If you need up-to-date information on how you can maneuver, how you can function, how you can defend and protect yourselves in this hour with coronavirus, there's no better person to articulate this than the man who brought healing to our community with the alpha interferon, with the healing of HIV, AIDS, keeping it from being a pandemic, amongst black people in America, that man, Dr. Abdul Alim Muhammad. So he has some information for you. He has a cachet of knowledge, life-giving guidance, and he and Brother Mustafa Muhammad will bring that to you tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, on Kanfani Radio Facebook page. You want to make sure you're a part of it. Boy, oh boy. At 10 o'clock tonight, this is Wednesday, the Freedom Call with Mr. Tyrone Best. It's tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern on GoRocks.info. You can also call in and exercise the PIN numbers there. I don't know what the subject will be. He'll tell us on the power call today, I'm sure, but I am telling you, this is the hour by which we can all enjoy what Mr. Robert Kiyosaki said in the beginning. He said it's all about the freedom. Go back to that three reasons to be an entrepreneur. You can find it on a YouTube channel. All right. And I played a selection when we opened up. Remember, I told you how we were dealing out of every day of this month that we have, we're on air. Every day of this month, we're operating out of the life of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan through his musical box set. Okay? This is his work, his life's journey through music. And there's so many people that are part of it. May 11th, he'll be 87 years young. That's Monday. On that day, we have a special presentation that we're going to show you. We're going to premiere a DVD of Minister Farrakhan and how he built this life's work. So you're going to see it. You're going to see some surprising guests in that presentation on Monday, May 11th. It's totally dedicated to thanking the God for the life and the work and the commitment of this man to the world. Okay, but you heard a wonderful rendition, a song. You know, it was titled A Message to a Black Man. And it was a gift to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan from a phenomenal performer and woman that most of us in the Black community knew and just knew. We just knew this was a sister. And yeah, she is a sister.
Good evening. It's the 5 special. At 17, like a dream.
This is Sister Tina Marie. It was given to the minister as a gift just before she passed.
Committing suicide over grades and peer pressure.
Y'all listen, and I will see us tomorrow. Peace and power. Whoa.
I continued for that subtle sensuality. Who could resist her plea? Such soft power, and she sang to me.
Okay, I saw that one for
key to
you.
my heart. You're the key to my. Good evening. It's the 5 special. At 17, like a dream, the sisters came to my emotional rescue. And believe me, there's a whole lot of youths committing suicide over grades and peer pressure, over the boy or girl next door. I continued forward, that subtle sensuality. Who could resist her plea? Such soft power, and she sang to me. You're the key to my heart. Don't ask my neighbor. Show me, show me, show me, baby. Show me how. She showered me with soul flowers, direct from the Windy City. I could go on and on about her and her sisters all night long. Blowing major, blowing minor, ill winds blow away. They're blowing me real good, too strong, the seduction of my spirit and how I'm blessed. Yes, I was taken over in 73, and how Chaka did it for me, futuristically. I was loving you, you were loving me, call it deja vu, my destiny. Yeah, my brother. Man, child, here in my promised land, understanding lends a better hand, and this is my message to a black man. I want you to feel good. I'm sure if you've heard it, then you felt it too. Oh, the Egyptian love song or a slow screw up against the wall. I'm traveling back through time. BC, heavy, stone weight scratching my bare brown shoulders. Building pyramids in the Sahara sun. Sun's lemonade, babe. Not even a cool drink of water before I die. I'm focused on my man and the magic in his eyes. I was there with you were there with me. Call it deja vu, my destiny. Yeah, 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 yeah. Man, child, here in my promised land. Understanding lends a mellow hand. And this is my message to a black man. I want you to feel good. A man, child, here in my promised land. Understanding lends a mellow hand. And this is my message to a black man. A labor of love. We are the people who are darker than blue. I dip down alive like Curtis into her A-flat fry. She wants to give me a mystifying love. Sweet thing, I take her with me everywhere I go. And you look at me like show you do until I run into you in Harlem or Tibet somewhere. And candidly I pull her out of my pocket and I say, here she is, here it is. I enveloped you enveloped me. Call it deja vu, my destiny. Yeah, 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 yeah. Man, child, here in my promised land. Understanding lends a mellow hand. And this is my message to a black man. I want you to feel good. Man, child, here in my promised land. Understanding lends a mellow hand. And this is my message to a black man. I'm blowing you real good, man, child. Roaming through the rushes like Moses down a dark desert highway. Cold wind in my hair, stars look so close like you could just reach right up and taste one. Cherishes the thought, the word. Lately my soul just seems to be disturbed. My soul is screaming, screaming for the youth coming up. No wonder they stay in trouble. Pain is double from rusted bubbles. Cold desperation, uninspired every days. When you don't have anyone to sing praise songs in your ear. Your role models are pimps and hustlers. Mac and cheap, right? Wrong. Who's gonna feed you? Tomorrow seems so lonely. I'll set the table like you were Seti. Long leg Nubian, Pharaoh's finest, a living legend. The swords of my earth, my wind, and love's fire. You gotta have spirit to deal with ill winds in Chi-Town. Master told me to remind you of the day you find peace along the way. If you look way down in your heart or soul, don't hesitate, cause this world seems cold. Surely, 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 the brother's gonna tell you why. Every time he comes around, I feel like I'm on fire. Surface the perfect angel, and the good they die young. I drift semi-consciously back down memory lane. I am barely 18 as I sit on the edge of a dream. A rotary connection, many's lament. Countless fears in my love life spent. Ill winds blowing through me, then you came. I am amorous and changed, thus I'm rearranged. I pull her out of my pocket and I say, here she is, here it is, and here I'm is. Which brings me to the end of this road. Curse words in the fade of the ghetto. And I took it personal when they told me he was gone. Not Donnie, not that brother. He was a religious experience like Shiva. Special occasion, I was smoking cannabis sativa. All alone in my room one night, borderline ecstasy. The deepest revelation came over me. He was doing variations on Claude Debussy. Damn, if he wasn't a black man, maybe then they would know the low. He was classically endowed and musically divine, truly underrated and a sign of the times. The Mayfield 5 Special is an endangered species. Never mind your fears, brighter days will soon be here. Take it from me, someday we'll all be free. Word. That kept me from slashing my left wrist successfully. And believe you me, there's young girls, more than you'll ever know, committing suicide over grades and peer pressure and the black youth behind the bedroom door. It's too close for comfort and home, I'm afraid. I fade to black. It was all a lie, all but my part. I will love you till the day I die. Man child, here in my promised land, understanding is mellow. It's mellow. It's mellow, baby.
Peace. Forward. See us tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Share, share, share.